Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. I hope y'all are having a very good day today, and just a different change of pace for the title, just as real as it comes. The funny thing is, I see so many, like, what, okay, let me, yesterday I was thinking, like, there are streamers on Twitch, right? And honestly, there's a lot of gamers, and then there's like people who don't really game, but yet they're still, on Twitch. It's just like, on the game, and like they'll like people will sometimes, you know, subscribe to to something else or watch something else, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, why do people like always try to, what the hell is going on? First thing, that's my fault. There it is. Okay. Woof. All right. Let's hope. Okay.
I shan't hold back!
All right, let's go. No limit break? What?
You underestimate me. Out of my way!
To get serious!
Okay. Whew. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, yo, Martinez, what's up, brother? How you doing? How you doing, man? Are you on? I don't know if you're on. Are you on, brother? I'm just doing, finishing up a few things. Are you on in-game, Martinez? Let's find out. Hold on. Might not be on. Nah, you're not on right now. Alright. Yeah, I'm just doing the dailies. And then, while finishing the dailies, I still have this one. I have my leveling and possibly my main scenario. It's really worth the XP. It is. You know, I already have that card. I'm trying to finish getting, got 15 more to go of those tokens. I don't think I could put that one in there yet. All right. Got quite the collection of crafting stuff. I'm about to trim that down too. Yeah, you're in? Oh, okay. Well, hell, man. Let me withdraw here real quick. Let me get you in here. It says I'm unable to retrieve you. that friend list won't auto update crossword. You have to go to my name. Got you. That's why. Good shit. There you are. There you is. Yeah, I'm just finishing up some dailies. I don't know if you have anything to level after this next one, but if you have anything that you want to level next one, I'm doing a leveling one. So if you want to get in on any job at that point, feel free. Oh, wow, okay. It's been a minute since I've been in this one. Something different. Yes, yes, I know. This is what I'm talking about. Can we get a little variety, you know? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's been a minute since I've done this dungeon. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up there, bud. Let me get the turd. I know you got your dual cast, but let me get the turd first. You can't aggro him. All right. I wish they wouldn't, like, I wish we would have dungeons without those things, man. All right. Oh, yeah. Right. Looks good. What in the hell is everybody doing? Nice AoE, dude. Hell yeah. All you pay me, we got all your fucking money, you bastard. gold, get the gold. Good shit. This white mage is using 0 DPS skills. Content respect white mage. Oh well, it's just a dungeon, but it makes it slower. Well, here's how I feel, Martinez. I'm a person. I'm old school, and I would rather have the healer making sure he's properly doing his job before he tries the DPS. I'm not opposed to healers DPSing, but I don't want to die as a tank due to healers DPSing. And that's the problem in this game. And that's why they're changing it. See, up until this point, healers have... Like, the DPS checks in the game weren't made to calculate healers. They weren't. And it was just like healers have too much... Once a healer got to a certain point, they have too much resources and too much in-between time of damage, so they started DPSing, and all of a sudden it became this mentality of DPS over healing. And now, what do we see? We see Protect going away. We see shielding abilities by tanks, like some mitigating effects, taken away out of the shared. And why? Because they're like, okay, well, if you guys are good enough, and it's boring, and you guys don't have a lot to do as a healer healing, well, we'll just, we'll bump it up a little bit. So that's how things have gotten. Healers are supposed to heal. If you get a little extra damage, cool. But if a healer's not doing his job, well, you got problems. And me coming into this game, I've seen too many bad habits. Way too many. Way too many. Like, I'd say 90% of the healers in this game are trash. They're trash. They're trash. They're trash. They are. People are like, it's a different... No, your fundamentals are trash. Like, when you res a DPS, you're supposed to what? Top them off. They don't do that. They res and start DPSing again. And that's not what's supposed to go down. So all of a sudden, you got a less functional person DPSing than the actual DPS in raids. I don't find that acceptable. I don't find that acceptable at all. Okay, do you want to level anything, by the way, brother? I don't find it acceptable. I would rather healers focus healing, and and if they get a little DPS out, cool. But I don't want healers. I definitely do not want healers killing me. I don't want to die. And that's happened multiple times. It's like, oh, don't worry about it. Oh, shit, I forgot to get my buff. Oh, well. I'll apply it after this. I'm probably going to leave this company here in a day and go get another free company, though. Alright. Let me eat my boof. At least we'll get that on. Oh, cool. We'll get credit for this. Awesome. Oh, shit. Don't, yeah, pull back the DPS. I'm always pulling. I pull big. Go big or go home. Watch this healer get me killed. Yep. And that's why, just as I said it, just see what I'm saying? See why? Do you guys see why? Do you see why? He wants kicked. Yeah, kick him. God dang. This is why. This is why you don't want healers DPSing. All right. Yeah. This is what happens, man. This is exactly what happens. This, you see what I'm saying, Martinez? You see my point? It's like all you have to do is call it. And they're trash. This is why I'm saying 90% of the healers are trash. I played MMOs since Ultima Online, since the first one. I have raided in Rift, World of Warcraft, EverQuest, EverQuest 2, Vanguard, ESO, Trials, DCUO I've raided. And honestly, I have never, also, there's other games that I've raided, but those are pretty much the standard games. But out of all the years I've ever played, I have never, ever, oh, hold on, let me withdraw. Just commence it, fuck it. I have, just commence.
There's people rummaging through our trash.
All right. Oh, you're healing. Okay. 2 bards. All right. I'm telling you, man. I do not. I'm pulling big, dude. I hope you can keep up. Don't start it yet. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ryu. Keep it up. Oh, dude. Ah. Okay, don't throw any. Do not throw anything until I stop. This is it. We'll break habits, man. We'll break habits. Oh, brother. I don't think he can keep up with me, man. Guess we go slow. Dude. Bet you that. You up for a bet? Friendly, of course. I hate going slow. stack it up. Don't think I can dodge a lot of his abilities. I should have just threw a heal is what I should have done also. I could have done that. Alright. We're gonna have a heavier pull here. I can still do it. My bad. I thought I had that off, but... Schweezy. This one's gonna be a bitch. Get him on the side. No, come around the corner. We can kite him and funnel him. Oh, no, never mind. If people just go behind the door, you can funnel them. Loss. You can stack them too. I got him. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna do corners, corner to corner.
Rip and tear! Boom! We go together! Die, die, die! Die, die, die! We go together!
Nothing I can do.
Die, die, die! Die, die, die!
GG. 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 Not giving it to the other dude. Oh, what? Look at that. See, we got it. Ord, what's up? You ready for crafter leaderboards? I know, right? Wonder how they will rank people. Rit turn in items. Dude, that's good. Rit would be a logical way. And by level, I could make tons of low level Rits pass, right? Weighed more favorable by the level. Dude, it's going to be awesome. I DC'd, I think. Oh, did you? That sucks, brother. Yeah, it says you're viewing cutscene. Dude, man, I'm serious. So, Martinez, if you ever want to go up on it, you know, we'll go head to head. If you want. I mean, it's just friendly. That's why I'm trying to say, like, A lot of bad habits in this game. It's going to get harder. It's going to get harder. It's going to get so hard. Mark, I think you agree. Oren, I think you agree. The healers, because I know you guys have played like old school MMOs. And I think the healers in this game aren't ready for what's about to happen. Do you guys think they're ready? I don't think they're ready. I don't think the healers in this, unless they played other MMOs where they're accustomed to being the healer role that they need to be. Yeah, they are not ready. Yeah, they're not ready. The healers in this game are not ready. They're not. They're not ready for it. I just don't see it happening, man. Like, that's the thing. Why am I good at what I do? Because I know the functionality of my role. I know I can switch my stance as a tank. I know that. I know I can go with Sword Oath. But look what ends up happening. I lose my mitigation and my enmity generation. I reduce by 20, increase generation by 15. When I'm here over Sword Oath, it just increases my potency. That runs a risk of my healer drawing aggro, my healer having to heal me constantly because my damage reduction is off. Like, I don't have a problem. I like the new system they're implementing because the tank stance is basically is going to be a boon without, a lot of cons going into it. So it's just picking up enmity. Now, I disagree. You're also making these comments based off of party founder. No, well, I've also ran extremes and savage and players saying, oh, I'm a savage healer. I'm extreme healer. I can do both. And me and Hop, like literally, we've died to these elite healers. These healers who said they're elite. Which melee DPS do you think would be the best, and how would you rank them from what we know? Without going into Shadowbringers, I think the Samurai and the Monk are going to be some really good DPS, but the problem of it is they don't bring a lot of support. That's the problem. Like, the high-end DPS, I think, is going to be with Monk and Sam. Honestly. I think Monk's going to be impressive because it's going to have a lot more capability due to the stacks, the fourth stack maintaining DPS output. But I honestly think that Ninja is still going to be favorable because of its support abilities. And Dragoon looks good also, yeah. But if I'm going to say DPS output, I'm going to go with between Monk and Samurai. If I'm going to say support, I'm going to say Dragoon and Ninja. So, because that's what they are. They're support DPS. I like the Ninja's capability of switching. So, oh, I got it. Oh, nice. Now, I'm not hating Martinez. I'm just saying I've seen just track. And here's the thing. If this is pugs, if these are pug players, why are they fixated on DPSing over healing? If they're pugs, or they're new, because they're being taught to do that. They're being told to do that. They watch videos and that's how they explain it. Those are bad habits. Those are bad habits. I mean, Dragoon right now, I don't know what will happen in Shadowbringers. Right. I can't, once again say for sure. And thanks, by the way, Martinez, for the run. If you want to jump back on, I'm about to do the main scenario, but you don't have to. But thank you, though. Like, I don't think they're ready. I don't think the healers are ready. I think they're going to cry. They're going to bitch. They're going to be angry because they're going to have to adapt to being the function. Yeah, we won't know. But I think because, like you said, but when the first raid comes out, even on normal, we're going to see a lot of difference. I'm tired of tanking in a raid and dying. I'm tired of DPSing in a raid, being rezzed, and nobody topping me off. Yeah, it's too long. No, thank you for the run, man. It was good. Like when coming into this game, I was told tanks don't macro. I'm doing it. I run macros on everything that I was told people said you don't do. It's like, listen, I was the elite of the elite. The elite of the elite. When I'm talking former elitist, I'm talking Molten Core, Nax. I'm talking old EQ rating. I'm talking I was the top dogs. The people that say that, oh, it's like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. You don't have to do it, but you can't tell people they can't do it. Where there's a will, there's a way. And a person's ability to understand how they're setting up their global cooldowns, whether it's off the GCD or on, if it's going to be cooldown, if it's going to be off the GCD, or if you're going to be on the GCD, and how you sequence your macros and how you utilize that in preparation to your combination is what determines how you're going to set up. Okay, to be honest, though, you can't run 6. I'll guarantee you, listen, Martinez, I will bet you now you can go get that gear, put on the same gear I have, and I will still heal you on chain pull without you dropping. Martinez, I will bet you. I'll have a friendly bet with you. I'll get on my white mage like you were, and I will bet you can run the same gear on a paladin, run the same mitigation, run your tank stance, and you won't drop with me. You won't. I promise you, man. I promise you will not drop. And I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm just saying it's just what I do. This is what I do. I dissect everything for a macro, my cooldowns, my abilities, my hots, my directs, what I can do. Like when I set up my healing stuff, nah, man, I still disagree with you. You think dude, I not experience it. I'm telling you, I will show you though. I'll still show you. You know me, man. I love my doubters. I love the challenge. I'll let you run the same gear I'm running. The same setup. I'm running 260 gear with all my material slots. With all my material slotted. I'm telling you, man. And end game, you're right too, because that's another thing. On normal, it's one thing, but when you go into Savage Extreme, man, yeah, there's a huge difference when damage output, everything, because that little bit is a huge difference. So I'm not diminishing what you're saying. I'm not trying to disregard or trying to say it isn't, a fact, isn't, within that effect. But once again, we got Protect. That's 3%. That's a 3% cushion. That's a 3% cushion. That's going bye-byes. That's gone next week. It's gone. No need to. I don't have anything to prove. I know you don't. I'm saying I want the challenge. I can do the game and clear it. Dude, I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying I'm up for the challenge. I'm up for it. I'm not trying, I like doing what people don't think is plausible. That's the challenge for me. I'm up for it. Because like I said, I came in here, people were like, oh, tanks don't. I'm like, shut up. I've been doing this before macros, before I was allowed to macro in a game. Shut up. Go away. Let me show you a few tricks that you guys couldn't think of. I got tricks up my sleeve. The only difference of it is I'm letting people know what I'm doing. You know, I have nothing to hide. And that's the thing, you know, I'm not discrediting what people are doing, but what I'm saying is, in the current situation, if they don't adapt, they're going to fall on their face. I think we're going to lose healers in the perspective of them unable to accept their function. Like, their function is their function. My function is my function. Dun, 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 dun. You know, and that's the thing. It's always been the Holy Trinity. It's not healers DPS then heal. It's heal, and if you can't DPS, you throw DPS. But in this game, people's gone backwards. Just that nobody's proven them to be as effective, or the people didn't think of it, or just what I'm saying is I don't know why. I haven't been here. I haven't. But people are like, don't do. I'm like, no. You stay over there. Stay over there. I'll do my thing over here. You know, I'm fine. Like my samurai macros, I've got everything one bar on my Sam. I don't have to dual bar. I just keep it up there for the indication. I have Sam fully one barred. My entire rotation, my procs, my OGCD, everything on my Sam is one bar. And I execute it flawlessly. But I know how to sequence, and that's the thing. It's like people think that when you're writing a macro, you're just slotting an ability and putting a command. But they're not taking into consideration the sequence in which things have to happen or can bypass what in rotation. So what I might be putting in, you know, in one combo structure or string, I need to offset the second one to proc on maybe the second to hit the third string of props that I'm writing. So let's call it sequencing. It's just not macroing. There's a sequence order that you have to understand that has to come off the GCD. And I think that's what discourages people from, like, I agree, you don't, if it's on the global cooldown, you don't sequence global cooldown. You sequence everything off the GCD. Go into Savage, show me 95% parse with your macros, and I'll swap. Dude, I want to pick up the parser, but I'm a streamer. I've said this, Martinez. Dude, don't come in here and do this to me. Dude, if you want to do this, get on a tank, get the gear, and let me heal you. If you're going to do this, let's do this. Are you wanting to do this? You said you don't. Now, if you're going to come up here and do this, are you going to do this? Yes or no? Are you going to? You just said you don't want to. Are you going? Put up or shut up, Martinez? Dude, put up or shut up? You got to take. Okay, get on the Paladin. Drop your gear. We'll do the same run. You got to put up or shut up. Got a pally? Okay. Now we want you to drop your gear score. Drop your gear. Do you got 260 gear? Because you're at 390 right now. Try to drop your gear. We'll go do the same dungeon. Because I don't want you, like, saying, oh, it's because I was in 390 gear. I want you to drop your gear score. Just take it to the 260. Grab some material 4, right? Materia 4. Want to say Materia 3. Materia 3. Slot it in. This is not me in there. Oh. Oh, yeah, it's got you, dude. Oh, gotcha. I'm doing main scenario. You want to do main scenario with me? I'm definitely down. Boy, you got that tank busted up, man. He looks damn strong. I'm down, dude. I'm always down for a challenge, Martinez. I'm always down. I am so down all the time. Every day. Every day. Every day. I am so down all the time. And it's not about being right or wrong. I just like doing it. I like pushing myself. I love it. I get off on it. I do. I get off on it. Like Elder Scrolls, man. You know what got me off? It wasn't people like saying, oh, it was like proving the fucking meta players wrong. I got off. As many people hated me, and they did. There was a lot of people, more people who hated me in ESO than liked me. But I got off, and you would think that they would learn their lesson. But I had Outcast, who shut the fuck up, who did say a comment during my stream. But LHC, there was a ton of them. My boys showed up. Ton of the meta players show up. Even the Asian God. And I shut them all the fuck up. Because I said, this will proc, and you guys aren't optimized. Well, how are we optimized? And I'm like, because you guys are fucking slow. You guys are slow. And that's the thing, man. Like, I've been doing this. I did this for companies. I used to be a professional at this. And that's what I did. I'm not just a gamer. I'm just not just a gamer. I'm not just a gamer. That's the confusion. People think I'm a streamer and I'm a gamer. You're wrong. I did this for companies. I was brought in to basically break their game. If I could find broken, anything I could exploit or break, I was free reigns for me. It was like, go at it. Do your thing, Mystic. Sure, you're going to let me try to exploit this entire system. Yeah, bet. It's on. Throw it up. And they would give me, like, I would get access to the entire code while I'm playing in alpha and be given an itinerary and try to break the fucking game. That's my job. That was my job. Try to break this fucking game. And when you go against somebody who has that experience, not just a gaming experience, no. A person who's basically trying to exploit the script of the way the code's written, I do it. I do it. Ah, shit, I forgot to get that buff. I'll let you main tank, dude. I'll off tank. I'm up for it, man, though. If you want to ever do it, I'll do it. And I've said on multiple times I want to get the parse. But unfortunately, I know it also can get you banned. It can, and I'm not risking an account to do what? Showboat. I mean, I will, but you know, it's like, yeah, fuck it. I'd rather put my money where my mouth is a lot of the times. Just be like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. Get your shit. Get my shit. Let's go. Let's do a run and let's see what happens. That's another thing. Like I always tell people, you know, until you actually put it into play. No, don't aggro, dude. Ah, shit. DPS is going to leave us. You didn't have to aggro, brother. Could have just ran and hit it. I always do it. I never aggro here. I just run through. This way I don't get stunned. Because they leave you to your death. Now you left me? Dude, I help you and you left me. Not cool, dude. Not cool. You can run parts without overlay. No, yeah, but the parser is in the game. Right? It's a part, it goes into the file directory. Right? It goes in the directory, right? No, that's why I said don't aggro. I've looked into it. I want it, but I'm streaming and I'm not canceling my account. We know it's frowned upon. And it's because of the toxic behavior. But I can guarantee you, and I will guarantee you, I will outparse anybody in equivalent gear with a macro. I'll guarantee you that. I will guarantee you that. And why? Because I used to do it in Rift. In Rift, we would sequence macros, and people would be like, no, you shouldn't macro that because it slows down DPS. I'm like, who told you that? And I was in one of the top end raiding guilds in Rift. And they were like, I'm like, you know why you haven't done it? Because you don't know how to sequence. You don't know what needs to be procced and when. Oh, you do? Actually, yes, motherfucker, I do. Because I write all the macros. And I'm like, write your macro right here. Follow this command. And they did it. And guess what? He runs it. And he's like, I'm like, what? I'm like, your DPS improve on your parse? Yeah. Interesting. I thought your DPS was going to fall off. Well, and I'm like, because you didn't know. You thought? Because why? Why? It's an instant. If it's an instant, why would you? What? I had an argument with somebody on that. I'm like, it's about sequencing. Sequencing is important. If you're going to write a macro, this is what I suggest. Follow someone who knows how to sequence. If they don't know how to sequence, don't fuck it. Just do what works for you. That's my suggestion. That's my recommendation. If somebody doesn't know how to sequence something correctly in the macro to the rotation, don't fuck with it. It can slow your DPS down if you don't know what you're doing or the person you're getting advice from doesn't know what they're doing. But once you get somebody who has experience in not only writing a macro, but be able to sequence and keep up the rotation correctly, then you're golden. You're golden. You're fucking gold. But once again, it's not something simple that, you know, there's like, you can go online and just look up what somebody has and think that that's, you know, a key indication. Trial and error, man. Like I tell people, the best way to learn anything, and I do mean anything, is just trial and error. I'm not gonna make it. But yeah, it's trial and error, man. Don't be afraid to try things, man. Look, like, try a 2-line script. Try a 2-line. Then come off in 3. Like, the way this is, like, I think the macro system in this game is good. I honestly do. But it's not my favorite because they don't have a suppression system. Like, I would love to have a suppression system implemented into my command prompt, but there's no suppression system into the in the code. So, and I'm trying to reference to see if they have an underlining suppression system. And the only thing you can get is the removal of the error, which takes a line. But in like Rift, we have no command prompts down. I actually might get on Rift just to show you what I mean, but because I still have Rift. But like I used to write entire lines at one time of sequencing commands. Like, not just the macro, but how things are going to proc and what abilities I can throw in sequence. That's why I said, like, I came in here, people were like, oh, no, you don't do that. And I'm like, no, you don't do that. You don't. I do. I'm a doer. Has anybody else heard that? Hercules, have you heard that? Tanks don't macro. How about you, Mark? Have you heard that? Oh, did have it on. Like, I'll hotkey, macro, whatever I can do. Hotkeys one thing, though. I think everybody uses hotkeys. If you don't use hotkey, I don't know what you did with your life. I don't know if Mark remembers, or some of you guys remember if you're old PC players, but remember Z-boards? I used to have a Z-board. And I don't know, do you remember that, Mark and Oren? The Z-boards? And my Z-board, man, I would hotkey the fuck out of my macros. I was oh shit. I forgot to get my key. Hold on. Ah, okay, we're good. Clear. Yeah. And I know, I sound like an ass, but I'm up for it. It's like, come on, let's do it. Let's go. Yeah, I'm always up for it, the challenge. And that's what kills me, man. Like, people get this idea that they can't do something. You can do a lot of things in games, man. Like, ESO, I was told Nightblades can't be healers. Proven wrong. Sorks can't be healers. Proven wrong. Sorks can't be tanks. Proven wrong. It's like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Just stop. But that was the mentality. It was. And I remember, Oren, I think you can be a way to, when I said I was going to make a DK healer, everybody was like, and Oren's like, you're really going to try that? I'm like, absolutely. Because I just wanted to do it. I wanted to do it. Nothing more. I just wanted to do it. And that was it, man. At the end of the day, I always, like, I think that's the mentality I have in anything I approach, in life. I just want to do it. Why? Because if you follow what everybody else is doing, isn't that just boring? And when people tell you it's going to be this way or that way, isn't that boring? I mean, do you just want to follow everybody the rest of your life and not try to do anything unique, man, that sucks. It's like, oh, no. And the problem of it is most players get the premonition. Now, that's why I'm usually against meta, typically. I can't say meta's always doesn't have some accuracy, but the meta doesn't, allow the capability to show the true capabilities of what you can pull off in a game, right? Because MMOs are really unique in that element, right? MMOs have this capability to find something that everybody else has overlooked and exploit it to its full potential. I mean, totally exploit the fuck out of it. And I still remember, like, when I would proc that stupid shit, and someone's like, great, you just got that nerfed. And I'm like, why me? And they're like, because you posted the build with it. And I'm like, they were going to figure it out sooner or later. I mean, come on. I mean, they're not really that dumb. I mean, I would hope not. And that was like also with the Warden when the Psijic Order skill line came out. And they didn't understand that one ability stacked with the Warden heals that on the weaving. And I'm like, oh my god, man, I loved it. I was like, dude, give this shit to me. I'll break it. I'll exploit the fuck out of it. As an orc, used Psijic skill line too, right? takes a macro, buffs in sequence, especially thank you! Yes, how I was told Sorks can't take. I take Vet Trials as a Sork take. It even did, yeah, I have too. It's nice. As an orc, great! Dude, the heal move and critical surge is OP. This is what I'm saying. I think this is why my viewers, like you guys, enjoyed what I did, because you guys were doing it too. Where, a lot of us are comrades in arms. We want to do what others aren't willing to try or even wanting to experiment with. Why? Because we're not gamers. That's what I tell people. You're a gamer. If you follow this person and you're following their map, you're a gamer. I'm not a gamer. Right? I'm not. Don't get me confused. I'm like... A gamer is a person who can't see anything past what the game is, what they're being told, or what the game is showing them initially. They're just playing through. I'm like, in all honesty, I'm above that. I'm a step above that. Actually, a couple steps above that. Because I want to see if I can exploit it. I want to be able to, just... take advantage of every fuck up in the game possible. I want to break the game. If I can find a way to exploit a feature that's been implemented. Now, I used to do some like I said, I've ran third-party programs and I got caught once. Yeah, So, but I turned my attention to the whole thing like, okay, what am I allowed to do without getting in trouble? How far can I push this without getting in trouble and losing my account? Well, that's and that. So you follow the terms of service, and all of a sudden the devs will direct you then. Okay, well, you know what, Mystic? Well, if you can find this, then report it. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm supposed to tell you guys what I'm going to be exploiting. Well, that would be nice. Wow. So I'm your bug hunter. Don't you have a Q&A for that shit? They say you can't do that. I say watch me, right? For DPS and I'm Final Fantasy, it's really about how good you are with the class. It's based on your skill and how comfortable you are with the class. That's the one you will do good with, not the meta, right? And I like Raziel too because he definitely is. He tries to stray away from meta, but I do think meta has an application due to the way the differences in this game in comparison to most games. It's all about top DPS classes that takes priority, but in this game, it's about the synergy, the quality of the synergy. Because once you get everything stacked, the DPS it exceeds the top end DPS or the solo selfish DPS. I kind of like that, but at the same time, it's like, what's the uptime? Because that's a determining factor as well. It's like, okay, you know. So I get the meta, how the meta works in this game, and I can understand its purpose and its functionality because of the synergy quality. So I understand that. Once I knew it, I was like, yeah, all of this is about stack. Like, you know, everything off the global cooldown. And it was interesting, man. It was interesting. It was a unique approach to an MMO. For sure. Because the rotations in this game aren't very, you know, complex with the combo system. What makes the rotation a little bit more intricate is group synergy in keeping uptime consistent with the other applied effects from your party. That's what makes us a little bit more challenging. That's what gives this game its, you know, when everybody's in sequence or in you know, the right, you know, setup, and everybody's burning these effects together on a time, it becomes a lot more noticeable. So, and honestly, like, I don't mind. I just don't think, like, once again, had the healers been doing their job initially, right, and healing first, DPSing second, do I think these changes would have occurred? No. Nope, I do not. I think the healers in the community brought it on themselves. There were too many crutches underneath the healers, right? Like protect and damage reduction for tanks. Like, you know, they've even increased some of the cooldown effect. So now when it comes to your tank busters, you're going to have to be a little bit more precarious from that position. And honestly, I really start to worry and I start to wonder, like, how hard is the tanks going to have it? How hard, or not the tanks, the healers. Sorry. How hard are the healers going to have it? Because I can guarantee you, people are going to cry within the first month. I give it up to Mark, what Mark said. Within the first month, being like, oh, we can't do it. It's too hard. Well, why is it too hard? You guys said healing was boring. And it was too easy. Now it's too hard? Make up your minds. It's like, don't get caught not doing what you're supposed to do. Because when new players come in, like literally, I wrote an email. I got like a markup, but not a ban, but a strike against my account for kicking a healer. Me and Hop kicked a healer one day. And he reports us for it, for kicking him unjustly. And I was like, he wasn't healing. We died twice. Like, you're striking my account because and it's easy to remember who we kick. We kick healers. We kick trash healers. So I'm like, you're striking my account, but the healers aren't healing. They're DPSing, and we're dying because of it. So what am I supposed to do? Let this healer ignore his function? That's not right for us in my party. That's not fair. That's not fair. Why should I have to deal with trash? There's a functionality. If I'm taking, he should be healing. I can see healers will lack in Shadowbringers, right? It shouldn't be the way it is, but it is the way it is. The healers, like, they're trash. 90% of the healers in this game are trash. I'm sorry. Fucking trash. I've spent 21 years in MMOs, about to be 22, and I have never seen some trash bullshit like this up until this point. I have seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of bad habits. But I've never seen a group or a social function completely disregarded in this big of a group. It's like, who started this crap? Well, there's a lot of downtime. I have no problem with you DPSing. I have none. Don't let a tank drop. Don't. You better be birding. You better know exactly your do you have a rotation on heals? Do you know how the proc system works on your healing? Yeah, I do. I know anything off the global cool. You know your global cooldowns. But do you understand the function of your healing? And a majority of them don't. They don't. They don't. They don't understand their mitigation and they don't understand how, like, to apply a mitigate, a hot, and direct if you have it. If you don't, you throw your mitigate, you throw your direct. You keep your GCDs off, and keep those sequenced for those moments, and then do a follow-up heal or a follow-up hot. So you run a direct, all of a sudden off the global cooldown, throw a hot to reinforce. It's like there's a lot of bad habits, man. A lot. And why should they learn? Why should they had to learn any of that when they were DPSing? Why should they had to? You can't blame the players either. And I think that's why Square Enix has taken the initiative to take away the crutches, take away the protect. Oh, those mitigating effects on the tank, don't worry, we're extending that that shield by 30 seconds. Okay. And here's my problem. When my squadron healer can heal me more efficiently than a player healer, that tells me that there's not a problem with the game's healing function. It's a problem with the player itself. Because the NPC can out-heal me more than the players can. What the fuck? I think they are catered DPS with extra healing moves. Right! It's crap! It's garbage! They suck! They actually really suck! I'm like, oh god. Like, Irish and Scott, when they first started playing this game, they were like, they would have me heal and hop tank if we were on. Because they didn't want to deal with the healers in this game. Irish was like, the healers in this game suck, dude. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. And it's true. Like, when I do even an ARR raid, I try not to let anybody drop in my group. But if as soon as I jump on a DPS or a tank, what happens? You see people starting to die. Why? Who's the weakest DPS on a parse? If we were going to grab my parser today and we were going to throw it up in game, right? and I was going to throw it into the game, who would be the lowest on the totem pole? Every time. Who would be? Who? Would there be a DPS class that deals less DPS than a healer? I fucking doubt that. Amazing. Amazing. And I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be honest. A lot of shit was the community did this to themselves. Nobody else. They can't point the finger at Square Enix when they actually have to do their job. They can't. Why would you have thought for a second that you were a healer first? Your role even says healer. Now, I do agree, and I will say this. And once again, people can hate me. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I never have. Go ahead, dude. I don't know where that other person is. Okay. Oh, maybe I got it. Okay, you got it? Cool. Good shit. Drew, you must really like the sound of your own voice. I do, Drew. I do. And since you want to like just whatever, I'll just go ahead and do that. Save troll healers. And the funny thing about it is, it's like, I don't think like it's a bad thing to want to be a healer. Like, I don't mind healing. I don't. If I'm a healer, that's what I prefer. I like to buff. I like to mitigate damage. I like to throw hots, and I like to heal. That's my functionality as a healer. I want to know how to be the best healer that I can be. I don't want people to tell me, oh, make sure you weave in this DPS during without the heal. Like, I need to be told to throw a dot or a damaging ability if everybody's top. Like, you act like there's a rotation, a DPS rotation for healers. The white mage has three abilities that can damage? Wow, what a fucking rotation. Wow. I'm mind blown. And why does it only have that many? 'Cause I don't know. 'Cause it's a fucking healer. It's a fucking healer, man. That's what it is. Now scholars got half their fucking damage abilities taken away. Why? Because the community kept ruining it. I always told my guild, I'm like, someone's like, is this going to be the meta? I'm like, I don't know if it's the new meta. I don't care. And guess what? It's like Fight Club. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about this. We can talk about a lot of things, but what we decide to do as a guild in a raid, we don't talk about. Because we don't want it getting to be a toxic, to be so apparent that it's going to affect our group capability, because devs are going to hit us with nerf bats. So we don't talk about it. I'm like, you can talk about a lot of things, right? In a game, you could talk about rotation, you could talk about application, you could talk about, debuffs, you could talk about so many things in an MMO. What we don't talk about is anything with the M word in a raid situation. We don't talk about that. We don't. Why? Because the devs will nerf us. They will. They will nerf us. I don't want to be nerfed. I'm good. This thing. Oh, where did Drew go? That's right. Put that bitch in timeout. Nah. Like I said, I think everybody will be fine sooner or later. Just like I said, if you find something, here's the deal. If you find something that's kind of working for your group and it's excelling more than anticipated, then don't label it meta and don't point a finger at it and don't draw attention to it. Shut the fuck up. You'll keep it longer. When devs aren't made aware of it initially, you'll have it. Not to say they won't eventually discover it, and others won't discover it. But you don't want to draw attention to it any sooner than you can take advantage of it. It's like, why? Why? Sometimes people just can't keep their mouths shut. Like, it's okay. You can talk about a lot of things. Talk about a lot of shit. You could say, okay, yeah. You could even be misdirecting people. Yeah, this is totally part of the meta. Right, absolutely. You just don't, literally, when I put out that one bow build of mine, I literally kept my mouth shut for probably a month before I decided to go ahead and point it out. But literally, my snipe on my one bow build, my bow build on my Nightblade, was dealing 43k without party buffs And when party buffs and Spellpower Cure buffs all were applied, I was hitting 47k attacks.
It's now beating hard.
I was like, I'm good. 47k stacked buffed attacks. And then what did they do? They adjusted the one set that was, you know, applying my stacked damage modifier. And I didn't care. But a lot of people were like, oh, well, Bobo builds don't work in Elder Scrolls. Well, look at Outcast now. Outcast is coming out with Bobo builds. Asian God is now coming out with Bobo builds. Turbo, now Bobo. When Bobo builds to those players were trash. But who was there? You know? Who was there? I have to ask. When they couldn't accept it, I already had conceived it. Already. They're just slow. I'm not saying they're not talented. They're just slow. And they'll get it. They're young. And maybe you'll find those few gamers that will excel beyond the title of gaming and completely become, you know, the breaker of games.
This was not my intention.
Oh, Hydaelyn, it seems the task of keeping your
Remember,
children alive
everything has to follow a set of rules, but when applying it to a video game, and the rules are written by programmers.
broken.
But unfortunately, what ends up happening, you have multiple programmers applying other effects that the initial person coming out with like a set, an ability, or whatever, isn't aware that there's something in the game that was not done by them, or maybe it was intentionally done by them and hidden away. But there's usually something that you can find that completely shouldn't be there. And for some reason it is, one way or the other. It could have been done intentionally by a developer, or it's because you have multiple developers doing multiple jobs that something was overlooked or not taken into consideration. And you, if you, depending on your familiarity with that game and what it's capable of, you can take advantage of that, you know, oversight. Oh, I just want to get this over. I should level up. Should hit 68 with this dude today.
Heed me. The subjects of a weak ruler must needs look to a higher power for providence. Independence comes at cost to the realm. The misguided elevate the frail, and the frail lead the people astray. Unless a man of power wrests control, the cycle will never be broken. You of all people must see the truth in this. You who have the strength to rule.
Pathetic. You boasted of unrivaled power. You were entrusted with the ultimate weapon, the ultimate magic. And still, you failed. So much for the glory of man.
This is a very interesting part or dialogue he has. Think about these words.
The growing imbalance afflicting the planet must be redressed.
The imbalance
If it is
afflicted must be
permitted to
redressed.
worsen, the very laws of existence, both
See
etheric
this?
and physical, will be warped beyond all recognition.
It's kind of
Know
interesting.
you the root of this corruption? Hydaelyn. Like a parasite, she must be burned out if the planet is to recover. And not but the return of the one true God will
One
ensure
true
complete
God.
excision. Yet, to pave the way for the Master's return, a chaotic confluence of untold proportions must needs be brought about. And that will necessitate the presence of the Primals. Needless to say, both you and your Scion accomplices cannot be suffered to interfere in this endeavor. You will not leave this place alive. It is past time your flame was extinguished, bringer of light.
Kind of interesting dialogue when you think about what we're getting ready to get into. Everything's been pointing in the directions. Ah, shit. Oh yeah, I leveled up. GG. anyways, thank you, Hercules, for that run. I appreciate it, brother. We'll take a break. Like, I'm up for anything, man. I'm always down for, you know, having debates, having talks, whatever. But I really want people to understand, like, what I do. Like, I try to have fun with my games as much as possible. If I can bring any kind of information, you know, to people, that's fine. Cool deal. I've only been playing this game since January. I've never stepped foot in this game till mid-January. Just didn't do it. And for me, it's been a great experience. And is it perfect? No. The PvP is trash. It's a trash PvP game. But everything else, you know, the story, there's a little bit too much, you know, fetch questing. So I don't mind the story. I like the story. But there's a lot of fetch questing that could trim down. The crafting is amazing. Like even the macro system, there's no suppression system. And maybe I'll show players what I mean. So when I write a macro, we're using the action commands and then in sequence, but there's no suppression system. So if there's a command that isn't prompt, you'll just see it, but it will auto bypass. But how it has to be sequenced is slightly different than in comparison to like Rift. So I'm going to go ahead and hold on. Open up my, well, I might not be able to, might download. It's been a minute since I played Rift, so I might not be able to open it up directly. We'll find out. Yeah, great. Launching. If I got a patch, it depends how many patches are out. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if my cap's on. No. Might have to do a password reset. Aha. Of course I have to whatever. I have to go through all of this. Looks like I have an entire crap to do, which is fine. Anyways, I'll just call the stream. Overall, though, like I said, I like this game. There's a couple improvements, like games that allow macroing, you should take advantage of, especially if you're on a controller. If you're on a controller and you're not using macros because you were told don't use macros, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. And I understand that they're they're suggestions for reasons, but I don't think keyboard and mouse players understand how frustrating it is to be able to have to switch between 2 to 3 different setups just to function. Like, enjoy the macro setup. The macro system's here for a reason. I suggest you find what combinations work in your rotation and utilize that system, because that's why Square Enix put it in. It doesn't have to be complex. It can be very simple, but yet effective. And then you have other commands that can be a little bit more complex because it's how you're utilizing the sequencing system with the command prompt, but it doesn't have to be. Trial and error. Try it out, do it yourself, find what works for you. I always say that in life. What works for you might not work for me, and what works for me may not work for you. And that's what's beautiful about MMOs. There's flexibility to be found majority of the time. But the problem of it is you got people who dictate or want to be dictators trying to make it apparent that this is the only way that can be done. And majority of the time, that's not the case. Because we all know the old saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat. All right? So, my recommendation, try to find as many ways as possible. Not to say you skin a cat, please don't. You know, not saying to do that. But find as many ways as you can do something. If there's something that you can find that works, do it. Okay? All right. Once again, I'm Mystic Raven. This is Mystic's MMOs. As always, thank you. Have a nice day.